Okay, good morning, class. So, I request you all to kindly switch on your videos at first. Everyone, please switch on your videos. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about the levels of prevention, right? We were talking about the primary prevention, the secondary prevention, and the tertiary prevention. Okay, so today we will talk about primordial prevention. Have you heard of it before? Primordial prevention. Have anyone heard about it? Primordial prevention. Anyway, I'll explain that. Just I'm asking, have you heard of it? Primordial prevention. Have you or you have not? No. Okay. Okay. See, primordial prevention, the name itself says that it is something like you are some kind of prevention that you are taking before the emergence of the disease. Okay, now you might be thinking that before the emergence of a disease or even before a disease occurs, the prevention that we take is usually the primary prevention, right? So there have been many contradicting statements regarding this. Many consider that there are only 3 levels of prevention, but then if you like separate it properly, if you go into a detailed analysis, then you will find out that there are actually 4 levels of prevention. Okay, there are 4 levels of prevention. Number one is primordial, then comes your primary, secondary, and tertiary. Okay, now you might be thinking that primary itself is like we are controlling the risk factor. So what happens in case of primordial? So the thing is, what was primary prevention? Primary prevention was controlling the risk factor, right? Controlling the risk factor or controlling the exposure to those risk factors. Okay, but primordial prevention is the prevention of emergence of the risk factors. Okay, that is, you are preventing the emergence of the risk factor. Now it will be clear through an example, otherwise you guys will be confused. Okay, see, so if a child, okay, his parents are, suppose his parents are smoking, okay, his parents are smokers, so that child, if you are eliminating the smoking in the parents themselves, that is, you are eliminating the risk factor itself. Okay, you are eliminating the risk factor, so in that case that will be a primordial prevention. Okay, whereas controlling the smoking by the parents is a kind of primary prevention. So yesterday I was giving you the example of diabetes. So if we talk about diabetes, what I said to you is, what was the primary measures of prevention we took in diabetes, that is, like if you were to maintain a normal body weight, if you are having more body weight, maintain it in a normal like range, or maintaining an active lifestyle if your lifestyle is sedentary. So a person, suppose, okay, suppose a person is overweight or maybe he is obese. Okay, and that person has still now not developed diabetes, but again you all know that obesity and increased weight or overweight these are the risk factors for developing diabetes. The person has not developed diabetes yet, but still, since the person is overweight, it is better to maintain a normal body weight. That is the primary prevention. But in case of primordial prevention, you are eliminating the risk factor only. Okay, so what you are doing here, the person is already having a normal body weight. Okay, the person is already having a normal body weight. So when he is having the normal body weight, during that time only we'll ask the person to be in the normal range. That is the primordial prevention. Okay, means in case of like normal body weight, now normal body weight is not a risk factor for diabetes, right? Overweight is a risk factor for diabetes. So the person is already having a normal weight, so the person still maintains his weight so that he can be in the normal range, so that he can prevent the emergence of the risk factor, that is prevent the emergence of obesity or overweight here. So because of that he is maintaining the normal body weight. Okay, there are no risk factor in the person, but still he is maintaining that. So that is the primordial prevention. In case of the primary prevention, the risk factors are already there. The disease has not developed, but the risk factors are already there. In that case, the person is trying to maintain his body weight in a normal range. Body weight is just an example, okay, to make you guys understand. So that is the primary prevention. So this is the difference. Primary prevention is you are controlling the risk factors. The risk factors are already present, but the disease is not present. The risk factor is present and you are controlling those risk factors so that the person does not develop the disease. In case of the primordial prevention, the risk factor itself are not there. They are absent, but still you are maintaining. Why you are maintaining? So that you can prevent the development of these risk factors. So this is the difference between primary and primordial. So you understood this, or you want me to repeat it? It is a bit confusing one, so if you have doubt, tell me, I'll explain that again. Repeat, okay. So see, okay, primary prevention. At first, let us talk about primary, secondary and tertiary first, okay? Make those concepts clear. Primary prevention is when the risk factors for developing a disease are there, but the disease has not yet developed. That is primary prevention. What was secondary prevention? The disease has developed, but you are managing the disease so that it does not go into a chronic state. What was the tertiary prevention? That the disease has already reached a chronic stage and you are trying to control the emergence of the complications. Okay, so if we were taking the example of diabetes, then what we did was, in case of the primary prevention, the person already has the risk factor around him. That means let us consider obesity or overweight. Okay, these are also a risk factor for diabetes. So if I say risk factor, now risk factor and causes, these are two different things. You need to understand that. Causes means they will definitely lead to the disease. Okay, these are the causes. If I say risk factor means this might lead to the disease. That means may or may not lead to the disease. Okay, so in case of primary prevention, the risk factors are there, the risk factors are present. Okay, for example, if you say diabetes, maybe a person is overweight. Now that person may develop diabetes or may not develop diabetes, but the person have got chances of developing diabetes. So what we do is we try to control his weight. That is the primary prevention. In case of primordial prevention, even the risk factors are not present. Okay, whatever measures we are taking them to prevent the development of the risk factors. That means now again overweight is a risk factor for diabetes. So in case of primordial prevention, the person already have a normal body weight, but still the person is maintaining or trying to maintain a normal weight through maybe diet or through exercise. Now the risk factors are also not present in him, and also you are eliminating all the risk factors so that the disease does not develops. So that is the primordial prevention. Okay, in case of primary prevention, the risk factors for developing a disease are there. The disease has not yet developed, but you try to control those risk factors or bring them to a normal limit. In case of the primordial prevention, you eliminate the chances of developing the risk factor. The risk factors are also not there, and the disease is also not there for sure, and the risk factors are also not present. In primary prevention, the risk factors are present. You control the risk factors so that the disease does not develop. In primordial prevention, even the risk factors are not there, and you are taking measures to stop the development of the risk factor themselves. Okay, so that is your primordial prevention. Clear now, or you want me to repeat again? Clear, okay. Another example of primordial prevention is, suppose a child, I told you child, his parents are smoking. So if his parents are smoking, the child is not a smoker, but his parents are smoking, and smoking might lead to, for example, your coronary heart disease. Okay, for example, I'm taking this as a risk factor. Okay, smoking is a risk factor for your coronary heart disease. Now the parents who were smoking, so if you since they are smokers, they have the chances of developing the coronary heart disease. The risk factor is already present there, that is smoking. Now if you stop the smoking in the parents so that they do not develop the coronary heart disease, so that is an example of your primary prevention. But for the child, okay, for the child, this is an example of primordial prevention. If you stop the smoking in the parents, that is you are eliminating the risk factor for the child as well. So for the child, it will be a primordial prevention. Okay, that means in primary prevention, the risk factors are there. You are controlling the risk factor so that the disease does not develop. In primordial prevention, even the risk factors are not there, but you are taking certain measures or certain steps to prevent the development of the risk factor themselves. Okay, so if you compare this saying, that is there is this Hindi phrase where you say na rahega bas na bajegi basuri. So that goes well with primordial prevention. Okay, so that there is no risk factor, so there will be no disease itself. So that is the example of your primordial prevention. Clear? Yes, so I hope it is clear to all. Okay, if you have doubt, you can ask me. Okay, I think it's clear to all. And see, there have been many like contradictory statements. Many people say that there are only 3 levels of prevention, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. They consider primary and primordial as one. Okay, for some primordial, they do not consider primordial as a preventive measure, but then again some consider primordial as a preventive measure. So again there are these different schools of thought. So what you can do is, if there are questions like how many levels of preventions are there, and if you see that there is no such option as 4 and the option 3 is there, so you have to go for the 3. Okay, that there are 3 levels of prevention. But if you see that there is an option such as 4 levels of prevention and 3 levels of prevention, then you better go for the 4 levels of prevention. Okay, because this is a detailed analysis. Okay, clear? Okay, I'll write 1 or 2 lines. I'll write them and then I'll send it to you in the group, so you can note it down later on. Okay, what is primordial prevention? You can edit up with the levels of prevention. So if you see the option 3 only, the option 3 is there, go for 3. If 4 is not there, if there are options like 4, 3, 2, 1, then go for 4. Okay, do not go for 3 because this is a more detailed analysis. So better you stick to this, the primordial, primary, secondary and tertiary. Okay. Any doubts in this one? I'll give you another example. Okay, another example is of your high BP or a high blood pressure. Okay, many people say that excess of salt intake that leads to high blood pressure. Now, high blood pressure also runs in the family. If you have a positive family history of high BP, then the next generations are also prone to get the disease. So these are the risk factors. Okay, so now if a family has like history of high BP, okay, if a particular family has the history of high BP and also the person, his salt intake is already more, okay, but till now that person has not developed high BP, but these risk factors are already present, that he has got a positive family history and also his salt intake is excess. So now when he starts controlling the salt intake, so once it was high, now he has started controlling his salt intake. So this is your primary prevention. Okay, but if a person, he doesn't have any positive family history, okay, there is no such risk factors, along with it his salt intake was already normal from before, so there are no risk factors, but still the person is maintaining his salt intake. Okay, he is maintaining a normal level, the risk factors are also not there still, so that the risk factors do not develop, he is controlling them. So this is an example of your primordial prevention. Clear? Is it clear? Okay, I'll give you a question, so you answer me. Okay, suppose a person, you all know that alcohol intake, high level of alcohol intake may damage your liver. Okay, it might lead to your chronic liver disease. So suppose if I say that a person is a drunkard and now he is controlling his, person is a drunkard and he has not developed liver disease, but now he is controlling his alcohol intake. So will it be an example of primary prevention or primordial prevention? You getting the question? A person is a drunkard, but the person has not developed liver disease yet, but he is controlling the levels of his alcohol intake, or now he has eliminated his alcohol intake, or he is controlling the levels of his alcohol intake. So what will be this? Primordial. Okay, anyone else? The rest, what do you think? Anyone else? Okay, see, this is not a primordial prevention. Okay, it's okay, at least you guys have tried, good, but it is a primary prevention. Now let me tell you why. If I say the person is a drunkard and the person is limiting his alcohol intake so that he does not develop the disease, that is the primary prevention, because drinking is a risk factor for developing chronic liver disease. The risk factor is present in the person. You're getting me? The risk factor is present in the person. He is a drunkard. He has already been drinking. Okay? So since he is taking alcohol intake, so that person, the preventions now when he will control the drinking, so that will be an example of your primary prevention. What is primordial prevention is a non-drunkard person. Okay, a person doesn't drink, so he is not drinking, he has not been drunk in his entire life, and even now he is not drinking, so that he can prevent himself from developing the liver disease. So that is an example of primordial prevention. See, drinking is a risk factor for liver disease. So the example that I gave, the person was already drinking, now he is controlling it so that he does not develop the liver disease. So the risk factor is there but the disease is not there. That is the primary prevention. If I say primordial prevention, even the risk factor is also not there. That means the person has not been drinking in his life, but even now he will not drink so that he does not develop the risk factor. Okay, and so that it cannot lead to the disease. So that is an example of your primordial prevention. This is the difference. Okay, you understood this? Is it clear? Okay, so just remember one thing. Okay, primordial prevention, there is no risk factor, no disease. Primary prevention, there is risk factor, okay, and you control this risk factor, but there is no disease. Secondary prevention, the risk factors are also there, the disease is also there. And tertiary also, the risk factors are there, the disease is also there, and sometimes the complications might also be present along with it. So remember that. Okay, primordial, no risk factor, no disease. Primary, risk factors are there but the disease is not there. Okay, remember it in that way. So if you get examples as such, so try to think that whether the risk factor is present or not. Okay, if the risk factor is present and the person is controlling those risk factors so that he does not develop the disease, that is primary. And then if the risk factors are also not present and the person is still maintaining it, so that is your primordial prevention. Clear, everyone? Any questions for this primordial and primary prevention? Any questions? Anyone?
Ma'am,
Yes.
আপুনি যে ক'লে অপশ্যন যদি 4 থাকে তেতিয়াহ'লে 4টো দিবলৈ, 3টো যদি থাকে 3 দিবলৈ, যদি both 3 and 4 থাকে তেতিয়া কি কৰে?
তেতিয়া 4. তেতিয়া 4. মইতো সেইটোৱে ক'লোঁ যে if you get the option 3, okay, and you don't find the option 4, usually it is said that if you go for a detailed analysis, there are 4 levels of prevention only: primordial, primary, secondary and tertiary. But some consider primary and primordial as one. But if you go for detailed thing, so it is usually 4. So if you see the option 4, along with it 3 is also present, go for the option 4. Okay, but if you see that the option 4 is not there, so you can go for the option 3. Okay, but if both are present, so answer is 4 only. Okay, if 3 levels of there are 4 levels of prevention, but sometimes you may not find the option 4 somewhere. Okay, so then it will be 3, otherwise it's 4. Yes, any more questions? Okay, I'll give you another example for this. Okay, for example, cholera. Okay, so poor sanitation and crowded conditions. Poor sanitation and crowded conditions, these are the risk factor for developing cholera. So if a person who is residing in a slum area, but still he is taking all the measures, okay, so that he does not develop cholera, so what level of prevention will this be?
Can you repeat the question, ma'am?
Okay, see, you all know that crowded conditions and poor sanitations. Okay, so these are the risk factor for developing cholera. So if a person is residing in a slum area, but still he is taking certain measures, okay, certain preventive measures, such as like drinking filtered water, okay, and then maintaining hygiene, so that he does not develop cholera, but he resides in a slum area. So what will be this prevention, primary or primordial?
Primary.
Anyone else? Yes, anyone else wants to add up something, primary or primordial? Okay, you are right. Okay, good. That is a primary prevention. Why? Because the person is residing in a slum area, so already the hygiene is poor, the sanitation is also poor. The person has the risk factor of developing the disease, that is cholera, but still the person is maintaining good hygiene and the person is trying to maintain a proper sanitation even after residing in a crowded area. So that is your primary prevention. Now if I say primordial prevention for this, so what will be the primordial prevention for this is the person residing, suppose, in a clean area, okay, not an overcrowded area, okay, the person is already having a good quality of life, but that person is trying to maintain that. Okay, suppose we are drinking pure filtered water, okay, so maintaining proper sanitation and hygiene, even though we are not exposed to the risk factor, okay, even though we do not reside in the slum areas or in the overcrowded areas, but still we are maintaining the hygiene and sanitation so that we do not develop diseases such as cholera. So this is an example of your primordial prevention, okay. Although we are not at the risk factor for developing it, still we are maintaining the hygiene and proper sanitation so that the risk factor also do not emerge here. So that is an example of your primordial prevention, and you were right, the answer that was the primary prevention. Clear everyone? So whenever you get questions as such, so try to think that whether the risk factors are mentioned, okay, if the risk factors are present along with but the person is like maintaining the risk factors, so that is an example of primary prevention. If the risk factor for the disease are not there but still the person is maintaining it, so that is the primordial prevention. Okay, so there are 4 levels: primordial, primary, secondary and tertiary. Clear everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I hope it is clear to all. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, okay? So we'll wind up the class today. I wanted to talk about this primary and primordial prevention, the difference. If you have got any doubts, you can ask me in the group also, or you can ask me directly, okay? So we'll wind up the class. CR, you send me the attendance, okay?